First Dan, on the ground, Cindy Roberts, Mebangari, Woman Eagle, coming at ya, tribal sovereign woman of the land, bringing you first-hand news.
I'm so excited.
Campbell, why not? Let's go. They come into our homes. Let's come into theirs. We know how to make them. You know how to make noise? You take their buildings. We're not going to hurt nobody, dead entity. So the people, by the millions, we take the buildings. From the inside out. What do you reckon, brother? They can't stop the people.
1 million people on the streets of Australia 2 weeks ago. Imagine if we could get 10% of that in Canberra. 100,000 people.
Yep.
What could they possibly do? We could just take over the parliament and that would be it.
It's just, and coming out of their system, their corrupt corporate system of slavery and control, tyranny, treason, genocide, and the people taken back their freedom and their rights.
Good morning, Tartaria Australia. Hello, everyone. Campbell and Kelly here to bring you. Hey, Campbell. Hey, Gone Buddy.
I'm doing well. How are you?
So today we've got an important episode. As we've been saying, we were going to follow up on what's been happening with Cindy and the journey through to Canberra because, holy moly, like Cindy has just done this amazing thing where our community supported her to get a car, to get some resources, to head to Canberra, which she did in November, back when we did the crowdfunder, and then sat there alone at Parliament House, praying to create a spirit. And holy shit, Canberra, look what's happened.
I know, right? Amazing. It's just shows you, right, what we can create with, we are creators, and with enough vision and focus. Cindy wasn't going to leave until it happened.
Yeah,
and that's why it happened, right? The universe is like, oh well, it's easier to just happen. Come on, let's not fight that. I mean, a massive pat on the back to everyone, to our audience, because seriously, without our intervention there, this may not have happened.
Amazing.
It's
amazing.
We're literally, we're getting the matrix to respond, if you want to look at it that way. We're changing things. So
and it's weird because every time Campbell and I've got on the phone since the beginning of this year, something has interfered with our phone calls. There was such weird interference. Like, I'm starting to feel like we're bugged, Campbell. We're bugging them and they're bugging us back. And it's so easy to think, look, we're just two people like sitting here with our drive and passion, starting with Tartaria and then wanting to really push it into the New Earth template and ask what next universe, how do we take this consciousness and have it provoke ourselves and our community and audience into action and building this new template. And wow, it's so easy to just like forget how influential and hardcore important and how powerful we are as individuals to like really dismantle and rebuild this whole matrix. Like, to our audience, don't forget, man, like, don't think you're just some lost soul sitting at home. Fuck no. We are powerful, higher self creators of all of this, and they are freaking out, man, freaking out.
They are. I mean, we're literally changing things, right? We are creating the new world, and that's what ultimately this is all about, right? Tartaria is awesome, and that was, the catalyst, and and we're still working out the free energy and all this stuff. But ultimately, it's got to lead us somewhere, or else it becomes a rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
And that's so that's definitely the direction that we're going, and I hope that you all come along with us. But that's the question, right? Where do we go now? What do we do? And of course, everyone's in the capital cities, in Canberra, in Canada, England. It's going off around the world. Finland, I saw. But what do we do with that?
Yeah.
You know, it's all well and good to jump up and down together and, you know, community and feel good, but what's the result, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do with this? Because the last thing we want is to have a big party and then walk away and, you know, that everything's the same or
and
worse.
Get reset.
Get reset,
get
right?
reset again.
We worked out there's a reset. Oh.
I mean,
that's what we learned about the resets, right? Because we've got to do something with that, and this time make it different.
Yeah.
Make it out. You know, if there's going to be a reset, it's going to be ours.
Yeah.
Right? Reset it to the new earth.
I totally agree. And I mean, I really love where we're heading with this show because in our audience, because, you know, as probably you've all recognized now, there's so much content coming out about Tartaria and so many people just blown away with the buildings and the mud and the windows and the giants and all those things. But this community, like, it's past that. Like, our job is not to just roll around in this fun, you know, rabbit hole of pretty buildings and history, but to actually, you know, I really loved last show because you said something great, which was just at the just as we discovered this civilization of Tartaria, it's right at the pinnacle and we're being called to build a new one. And like that can't be lost on us. Like, we as an audience aren't here. We aren't here to sit around and just consume everything on YouTube and that be that. We're actually here to action and ask, what next, universe? What the fuck is Tartaria provoking in you? Like, why is it in your life? Why have you coupled onto the consciousness? And like, how are you going to utilize it to bring forth this beautiful new template, which I know has lived in all of our hearts and all of our soul this whole lifetime. And we've all felt it. We've all known it. We just haven't quite been at the right time in human history to know how to action it and to certainly gather our tribe around to coordinate that as a collaboration, a collab, which I really feel right now we're on that. We are going to collab with you guys. We are going to collab the fuck out of this. We are going to take this to a whole new level and see what we as a community together can do and how we can like pollinate and generate this energy, this vortex of us all, because we all share the same ideals. Like, no question about that, right? We all do. We all have the same ideals. We're all on the same consciousness. We all have the same understanding. Like, we are ready to take this to the next level and we're ready to get our hands dirty. I am literally ready to get my hands dirty. How about you?
Yeah, I'm getting fidgety and very fidgety. I think I'm definitely getting the message that it's sort of, we need to do more than just be making videos and putting things out and talking and all this kind of stuff. We need to start actioning, right? You know, being the change we want to see, right? That's what it's all about. And this is the thing about Tartaria is, and why it's, so many people are, really getting into the topic is it's, there's the buildings and everything, but it's a whole concept, right? Of Tartaria and as civilization built a different way, built for the people, right? Free energy, not having to pay to live here, spending our lives, working on our creative, pursuits and our natural skills and talents and all this kind of stuff, which is really, that all got stolen from us, from the last cycle, shall we call it that? So I think that's, a big takeaway. We may not be able to build, the massive buildings, but we can build that community. That's what we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
And build a community for everyone. And, like Kelly's idea, which, is just out of the matrix, right? We're going to build an online store where everyone just puts in what they do. And as far as profits, we're just going to divide it up equally between everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool new models we can play with: handmade, homemade, organic, chemical free. And if we're on the blockchain, Campbell, we don't have to fucking deal with any of that, because all produce is blocked. You can't sell eggs, milk, all this stuff. It's just blocked. But fuck that. We're going to the blockchain where that is all free, and we're going to welcome your egg distribution around Australia. Hey, listen, we've got a very special guest, two very special guests joining us today. Obviously, our beautiful Cindy Roberts, and we're introducing Dale Holmes. Hello, an amazing Australian voice is out there. He's totally out there. He's riding our wavelength. He's onto the sovereignty, the Indigenous, the Tartaria. Fucking yeah, I'm about to invite them in. So are we ready? Let's see what this amazing conversation brings. All right. So welcome. Here we go. Admitting two legends into the chat. Mr. Dale Holmes is joining us today on Tartaria Australia. We're live right now, Dale, and we're about to say hello to you. And hello, Mr. Holmes. I love that. It's like Sherlock Holmes. Hello, Mr. Holmes is in the house.
Hold on.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for joining us.
So I'm just about to also introduce Cindy Roberts to join us today. So we're going to come in and have a really amazing chat. Cindy will be on her phone. Are you there, Cindy? Can you hear us?
I'm trying to bring the camera up this time.
Hi, sister. Welcome to the chat. You're a little bit broken up.
Move around if you can.
Not literally, yeah. just with your audio. So my dear, amazing Australians here in the house, like Dale, what a significant voice you contribute to this movement. We love your work. You have put out so much amazing content, and we are like very honored to have you on the show today. So welcome, my brother. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me. I'm just on the side of the road here. I don't even know where I am.
That's good. That's good. I feel like a lot of people feel that these days. Cindy's just dropped out. So Dale, hi mate, where are you? What's been going on?
Where am I? I've just left Newcastle. I don't know. I'm somewhere on the coast. Just messaged Campbell. I said I don't know where I'll be, but I'll try and got some reception. I've just been in Canberra the last few days, which is really interesting, and it's going to build up to Saturday from what I'm hearing. A lot more people coming down, so there's a good momentum happening at the moment, and I think that there's a lot of filtering out of who's running things and what does it mean to be sovereign. And it was really interesting being at the camp because you got some real staunch people there that don't like following anyone, but it's kind of good. It's like working its way out, and I think I just like that everyone's there. Things are happening. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So give us your summary, Dale, of what's been going on there, because we started this journey with Cindy in November, and she went down there and she sat there alone basically, and then prayed to Creator, and bang, we've got this massive movement. And of course we've got the convoys all around the world going on right now. Lots of layers. It's never simple in this realm, of course. So give us your summary. What's been going on from your perspective?
Yeah, it's interesting you said that about Cindy, because I was even saying a couple of years ago, there's something very pure and something that I could feel that's going to happen with the sovereigns in this country, and the ripple effect of what's going to play out in the world. And again, like I was saying before, it's all filtering itself out, and people are hearing the call, and everyone's trying to work out where their place is. But I think there has to be that respect for the First Nations people first, and to me they heard the call first. And I've spoke to some elders over the last couple of years from all different areas of the country, and particularly the women. I won't say who, but there was one that came to me, and there was men that they were having their men's business, and the women came to the others and said they came and told them it's time. So Cindy will be able to talk more about that, but because what I think it's a calling from the heart, and especially those that are sovereign Indigenous to this land, because we're all tribal people, we're all sovereign beings, no matter what race we are. But the First Nations here, they're connected to this land.
That's right.
More through the DNA, so they've heard that call first. That's how I've seen it. So and I think there's a lot of people that are very quiet at the moment. Particularly a lot of the sovereigns are very quiet. They're not the ones up there yelling and screaming so much. But yeah, they
better watch out when they do.
Well, that's it. It's like the sleeping elephant. You can do what you want, but when you wake that elephant up.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just I think it's beautiful. There's bits of bickering and how it should be done, but to me that doesn't really matter. It's just I like the fact that people's energy's there, and I think I've just seen different beings all are looking at different light beings all just converging on this center point. If you look at the artery that runs from Uluru because even like even the train line runs almost along the ley line or the song line, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like purifying the song lines. If you look at people converging on Canberra, they're all little nodes like opening up the song line. That's how I'm looking at it. It's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah.
These people have never had a voice before. Like they've had a voice now. Like, well, you know, because look, it was all by spirit, you know, and you hear a lot of people are talking about prophecy, you know, and it was funny because we had a big meeting when Uncle Jala Dulamunmun was still alive, you know, Uncle Max. And when he called out for the corroboree, we had there was a global meeting we had with him with the corroboree. We organised a global meeting. And throughout that meeting, they mentioned about that the eagle will rise up and the condor. And they forgot I come from the eagle family in my country. That's my spirit. So when I leave, you know, this is where I go back to, the eagle family. Mebangari is my name, and that's woman eagle. And then I met with the condor mob, and I couldn't believe it. So when I looked at that spiritually, I thought something is happening here, you know. First, it was our people. Like, I was the first on the ground in Canberra in November calling out, because Creator sent me there to call out. When the police moved in and they started moving my people along, I was the only one that wasn't given any conditions to move along, because I still believe, because Creator said it's not finished. Anyways, everyone was leaving and I was crying because I was the last one still there. I was the last one arrested, but still Creator said, your time is not yet to leave. So I sat down and I prayed, and the second call out, I was still calling out for people to come to Canberra until a brother did a truckie call out. Well, lo and behold, you know, if you ever seen, and this guy just did a call out because a friend that was with us at the original camp, he was saying, sis, we'll do another call out. So he got the mate to do the second call out for the truckies. And here it happened. And they're just coming from everywhere. We're talking about families that are broken. We're talking about families that have lost their jobs, that have lost their businesses, that have lost everything. And they've just moved in to occupy Canberra now. As you know, Canberra is the head of the snake. So when Creator spoke to me, Creator said, no colour by spirit. Because when the last days come, it's not by colour, it's by spirit. And that's what's happening. So and I understand we are the original people of this land, and I understand all that, what people are saying, but Creator reminded me, and by spirit now, because there is no colour in spirit.
Doesn't Canberra mean meeting ground? Isn't that the
translation?
Yeah.
Well, actually, Ngambri is a meeting because in Ngambri country, Ngambri, and what that place means is a sacred mountain. So you got two mountains there. You got the Black Mountain and you got Mount Ainslie, and where the old Parliament and where the new Parliament is on Capitol Hill is a sacred woman's site, and it's the place. It's the place between the woman's bosom in language. And it's right on the womb of a woman, of a mother. It's the woman's womb is where Parliament House and that are all built. So it's really, but yes, when my people do come, you know, which I believe that everyone is just gathering. Because when I was down there, like I'm in Sydney at the moment, and I come to see my sister and my mum. And when I was while I was down there, it was, I kept on calling out to my mob, where are you? Where are you? You know, the people need you, their leadership. So we were standing up all the time to protect them. We were standing up to protect the Australian people from the Australian Federal Police and from them what they were doing, because they were just coming by force. So we had to tell them to leave the Australian people alone, you know? You have no jurisdiction, you know? And they were coming by force at them. So we were letting them know that we were protecting them, you know, that our people were still there and we were protecting and we were standing in the front line against the police, you know, from what they were doing to the Australian people. So we're still here. We're still, you know, protecting them because they know they have no jurisdiction over the mob, even though they try to move us along. They tried to remove our people quickly from the scene. You know what I mean but we're still challenging their laws, you know, because their law doesn't exist, as you know, and the rightful law of this land is LORE. And that's something that we need to put into structure is LORE, you know, and that's creator's law, is the law of the land, or the law of this land and the law of my people. And that's universal law, natural law. And that's what we need to put that structure into place to protect the people, where the people can have a new way forward and, you know, and step outside of that colonial democracy, that controlling democracy, you know, and that's what it's doing to them. It is a colonial democracy that's controlling them, and it's evil, and it needs to be broken. And we need to move forward in a new direction. Let them have their stinking dirty system, but the people need to create their new one, a new one, away from that old, slavery system. You know, it's a slavery system. But anyways, your turn.
That was beautiful, Cindy.
Yeah.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. So what do you see that as a way to go forward, Cindy, as far as, I mean, we've already got old Parliament House. Should we just, you know, start a new, you know, government there and just try and ignore these people, or do they need to be taken down?
No government. I don't
No
need
government at all.
I
Yeah,
don't need
you need
government.
to- everything.
Control
See,
that.
their old system.
Council.
Their old system needs abolishing.
Yeah.
Everything needs abolishing. It needs to be restructured. It needs to be a whole new. It needs to be
Reset.
like creation. It just needs. It just needs. To be. We need a whole new system.
So,
Not
all right,
even a
guys.
system.
What does that look like, Dale and Cindy, from your perspective? What does that new system actually look like? Like, we've got an audience here that are ready to build the new earth, you know. What does that new earth system look like? Number one, no one needs governing. That's a certainty, because we're not freaking 5 years
And this
old.
is the first thing. You know what? The first thing what ownership.
Oh, you're frozen, Cindy. There you go.
Yep. Okay, wait there. No ownership.
Yeah, no ownership.
That the people can move and travel freely in this country. Because that's what they did. Citizenship, fellowship, ownership. Everybody needs to get off the ship and onto the land.
Fucking ship,
because they're still under maritime.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like, if you ever look at the structure of Canberra, you see the Parliament House, that's the mosque, and then you got the War Memorial down the end, that's the war of the ship, and then you got in between, the structure is everything of a ship. It's a ship on land.
Mm-hmm. Very Tartarian, very Tartarian.
Yeah. And that seems like you were saying, they've built Parliament House on sacred spots. So, I mean, we at least need to change the energy there. If not, I mean, do we need to demolish that thing and rebuild, or because?
Well, it's on an ancient vortex. It's on an ancient portal.
Yeah. So clearly it's an energy move, right? They're trying to take over that.
Yeah. And it is, and you can feel it. It's so powerful. A lot of people say, oh, this land is so demonic. I said, it's not that, it's the forces that they brought here to create that energy.
Yeah, it's been amplified.
Yep. And they're on an ancient, because they knew exactly what they were doing when they built the parliament and everything on that area. It is sacred woman's land. And it's right slap bang, it's right in the center of the womb, the mother's womb. for that site.
Well, that's interesting, Cindy, because Dale started by talking about this being basically will be a final movement of the rising of the sovereign female. So that makes total sense. What do you reckon, Dale?
Could I speak? Yeah. Well, from what I've found about the control structure, it's interesting. I love that you said that, Cindy, about it's not a demonic area. This is what I keep telling everyone. All the key demonic areas are the pure natural areas of the planet. I'm talking the Vatican, all these places.
Yeah.
That's why they hijacked it. But the key hijack of this planet is to hijack the feminine. And the fact that you said that that's on a women's site makes perfect sense to me, because the woman represents, you know, if we're talking about natural law again, the woman represents care. The woman represents care. So they want to destroy care. And that's why they've put their structures, satanic structures, on this area, and the shit that goes on underground there. If you look at the earth like an acupuncture nodes, they've controlled us through these nodes. And it's a massive control of the feminine, but we're seeing, I think we're seeing a balance of sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, because the convergence on Canberra, that is the sacred masculine. That's the call to action.
The truckies.
And Cindy, I think maybe there is a representation in human form of the sacred feminine in one embodiment. What I believe through all the fractals. But so you going there doing that initial call out, are you that fucking person? Jesus Christ.
Oh, she's that fucking person.
Like that's almost how I'm looking at it. Yeah, because I look at the fractals of the hologram, and there's always a person, you know, this is what they talk about, the Christ or whatever, that's the masculine embodied within a human form. And there's something very sacred about the Australian landmass. I even had a guy yesterday come to me. His name was Moo. He told me his name was Moo. He just pulled me up. And he's like, there's some evil shit going on here, Dale, but I've been doing some work. And we woke up and there was mist everywhere. And I said, what's your name? He goes, my tribal name means the mist. I'm the mist. Just like shit like that blows my mind, man. It's unbelievable.
We were at I got to tell you this bit. We had this brother,
maybe you want to speak to that, Cindy.
Yeah, we had a brother, Jagamara. He came and he was sharing a story up on the podium, anyways, and in front of all the people. And he spoke about the eagle and the condor and everything. And he spoke so, it was just amazing. He spoke so beautifully about this story. Anyways, this lady walks up to me and she said, is he a seagull? And I was like, what makes you say that? She said, look at all the seagulls dancing around him. I said, it probably is his dreaming. I said, you just have to ask him, you know, like, but he had all the seagulls around him. He was just, and you could tell he was a spirit man. Like he was one of my brothers, but, you know, and we're all spiritual beings, but he was into it. He was, and, you know, I love when I can see my brothers and my sisters are connected, because the animals tell the story. Nature tells the story because they follow us. They can hear us. They feel us. We're connected to them. And that's why I wanted to I was telling all the mobber down there about why it was so important that we protected the land, because my ancestors are a part of the land. We are one, you know, not only are we the DNA of this land, but we are the water, we are the trees, we are the animals. So when a lot of these people, when they're doing land clearing or mining or anything like this, they don't realize that they're killing us. Because see, when I leave this world, I'm not going back to dirt. I'm going back to be with the eagle family, because that's who I am. So the cycle continues, you know, the eagle, you know, of the animals, of the possum, of the water, of the trees. You know, my family even have totem trees are also totems, you know, and And that's why it's so important. That's why we're so connected to country, is because our ancestors, we are country. And this is where we go back to our spirits. You know, we don't go back to the ground. Our spirit goes back to these things. We go back to the animals, the water, the trees, you name it, the stars, the moon, the sky, you know, Gibbon, Yelgan. We go back to these things. And that's why it's so significant that the land is looked after. And see, that's a part of universal law, creator's law, is the first law to look after the land.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what they, you know, they come and claim, isn't it? It's the first thing, the land. They just want the land, and they, you know, they sell it. You know, my question is, who'd they buy it off?
Yeah, but you can't sell something that you don't own. So
Exactly,
how are they?
right.
And this is what all needs to be addressed and brought in. You know, this government, like they sat down and they debated through the night about a discrimination bill, a religious discrimination bill. What about all the other bills that need to be addressed in this country? The Bill of Human Rights, you know, and yet they could sit down and have a debate all hours of the night over a religious discrimination bill. Come on.
Yeah, it's distraction. It's the same old crap, right? That they pretend they're doing stuff, and they sort of cater to a small minority, a small loud minority. And look, we're doing things, but as we know, they were saying this 50 years ago, and what's changed? It's so yeah. How do we see this sort of
we structure?
going?
We put a new. See what we haven't got is what the people haven't got. And first and foremost, the original people, like my people and the Australian people, need to unite stronger than ever. Because we cannot move forward without one another. And then we put together the people's, the structure, creator's law. The law of the land is the law of my people, and that becomes the law of the people. So we need to put that into a format, into a structure where, you know, just like they've got their constitution, then you create the people's constitution, you know, which becomes, creator's law.
Much like we were told happened in the US in 1776, you know, they just got a council and wrote a new law. And I saw you up at the Governor General's house the other day, Cindy. Is that a path that you think? Because I heard Ricardo Bosi also mentioned it as, you know, obviously the Governor General can dissolve the Parliament. Do you think that's a good way to go?
Well, he has the power.
The
power in his hands, you know, like he has the power to do so. But at the end of the day, we're talking about Commonwealth and a corporation. So it's like, where does he have the power within a corporation?
Exactly. That's the
whole
thing.
It's a question. It's a question that needs to be, it's a question that needs to be asked, because we're talking about Commonwealth here. So he's under Commonwealth. So we need to find out. And that's like when the police was coming to arrest us. I said, who do you work for? You tell me that you're charging me for trespassing, you know, on stolen land. Where's the bill of sale? You know, show me the receipt. Show me the evidence that you bought this land off my people. Anyways, and I said, who do you work for? Because they come and stated Commonwealth laws. And it's like, wait there. I said, who do you work for? Because we know that there's no Commonwealth. So I said, who do you work for? Do you work for the Australian Parliament? Do you work for the corporation, or do you work for the Commonwealth? You need to make up your mind. You don't know who you work for, you know. So they're all a bit confused, because they don't really know what's going on. They don't even realise that there is no Commonwealth.
No, that's all false.
And I said that to him on a live. I said, there's only one queen in this country, and I said, it's me at the moment. I'm the Black Queen. Anyway.
Oh well, there you go, Dal. She's answered your question. We are talking to that person. So it's really interesting to me, guys, because when I imagine this sort of move into the New Earth template, if we just use that as a generic language, and I envision sort of our sovereigns sort of taking back that right of ownership over the law. And what I imagine at that point is the next thing that would happen would be all of the destructive elements of our current reality, all of the mining, all of the elements that are really like going hard at messing up the I like always thought that the land would be the very first thing that would be addressed, like bringing back that harmony and that protection of the land. And then after that, it would be about teaching Australians about their rights, their real rights, their natural law sovereign rights, and what that involves. It's like phases there, because at the end of the day, it's all about Australia growing up. We growing up out of this friggin' mental reset that we've been in for 300 years, and actually knowing that we are, you know, we are creators. We are the creators. We are those beings, and knowing that within ourselves, and then moving forward as the beautiful, protective, caring energy of creator beings that don't need authority over us, don't need governing, are set free to create and imagine and look after each other, the land and the animals. And like, it's no coincidence that every single country around the world, the first thing they did after their genocide of our original people was genocide the animals. Like, the animals' relationship to the people were also completely, and you know, here in Australia, Cindy, just as a side note, what does the dingo represent? Because Australia has genocide the dingo in our lifetime. And I've always wondered what the dingo stands for. What does it represent?
I know a tribe that's a dingo tribe in our country. And I'm family to that tribe. And that dingo is also a totem. See, they brought a lot of we've adopted a lot of these, you know, like they talk about ancient history, and some of, you know, the dingoes were always here.
Mm.
They were always a part of my people.
Mm.
You know, so when they say that dingoes were introduced from another country, well, that's a myth, because they were always here. There are stories written on, you know, like our rock art and everything like that of the dingoes being 40 to 50,000 years old in our country. You know, we have ancient stories of the dingo, Yurumbu, you know, and we have ancient stories about the dingo in our country and everywhere like that. So the dingo is significant to our people and to tribes. So to say that it don't come from here, that's disrespectful unto the tribes of this country, of, you know, of this land, and especially the dingo people, you know, like, so I wouldn't be, you know, they say a lot of things that we came from Indian, or, you know, we're pygmy. I'm like, you know what? I don't know where you get your history from, but our people know who we are. We know our history. So how about you start sitting down and listening more to our stories about who we are, than you making up your stories or introducing other cultural stories into, you know, our culture and our country. And how about you just listen to our stories? They're always trying to change history, Kelly. They're always trying to implement something that doesn't come from here, Kelly, you know, and saying that we come from here and we come. The Indigenous people, the Aboriginal, the original people of this country are the oldest living tribe in the world, the oldest living culture. And 12 strands of DNA, we hold every single tribe's DNA within our DNA. You hold your own, but yet we are. So we are in you and you are in us. The reason why they came here to destroy the people of this land is because our people were the law keepers.
Yeah.
We hold the law.
Yep.
Creator's law.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to introduce a man-made slavery law, they had to be rid the oldest law, the law of the land, the law of creation.
Yeah.
And they had to destroy that. And they knew. So when their first settlement came into this country, people say they came here in 1788. No, they didn't. They've been and gone. They've come before. They seen. But they seen that the land was not conquered, you know. So when they went back for their ships, they came with a military army to come and take the land by force. Yeah. When they realized that these people have, you know, they don't believe in Jesus, or they don't, you know, they are uncivilized. So when Captain Cook and them came back, he came with the, you know, the doctrine of discovery, you know, from the Pope. He already been here. They travelled the seas before that. They knew what they were coming for, and they knew what they were bringing with them next time they came. And they knew they had to destroy. See, they got to learn the ways of the land. They got to, you know, our people taught them so much in this country that when they found and when they learnt everything, then they took everything by force and then killed off our people after they received everything that whatever they wanted to achieve or whatever that knowledge or, you know, whatever they needed to learn and to take. And they took it all, what they could, and they killed our people after my people showed them everything that they needed to know about this country, the law, the land, you know, the path, the ley lines, the stories, the songs, the dances, how to survive off the land, how to live off the land, you know, everything they needed to know, and how to live on this country and on this continent. And then my people were murdered, you know, and our law destroyed so they could introduce their man-made law. But our laws,
same tactic of infiltration. It hasn't changed. Can I speak to it? Because a lot of people even at the camp, they're talking about the Constitution and the Commonwealth, and this is exactly what I'm hearing from Sydney too. If you talk about the original law, because this is what the Satanic Force does. It learns from the natural. And then under common law and the Constitution, the Queen is God, right? The Queen is the representative of God. Do you see how they invert that from what's natural to then make, but because they have to make it similar. Like common law it's derivatives of natural law, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
If you look at natural law, it's the law of cause and effect.
See, anything, brother, anything that is a British concept or does not come from here, they should abolish. If they want to talk about creating a new, then create a new way forward. But do not come with the old concepts that have brought the Australian people and my people to their knees at this point in time. Their laws is what destroyed this country. Everything.
Fuck the Constitution. It's like we don't.
I told her. I keep on telling Jackie Dundee because they got this thing about revolution. Like nothing against them. They're all got their little sub. I call them. You know, when you got a block of land and you subdivide. That's what I'm calling all these little groups. Anyways, and anyway, subdivisions. Anyways, and I told them, and I kept on speaking. Abolish their laws. Abolish the Constitution, abolish the whole system, start again.
Start again.
And brother, you're right. They need to abolish it all. Jackie and them, they all want to, and then we were talking about bringing back the Queen. I said, I am going to slap his now. You know?
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
Well, it's like with regenerative agriculture, which is what I do, Dale, in my day job. And it's like that, you know, you've got an obnoxious weed, an invasive pest, which is our current governmental leadership. And you don't just go in there and rip out the obnoxious weed because like it's there to tell you something, right? It's there to tell you something. So with regenerative agriculture, if we use that as a metaphor, it's about then working that obnoxious weed out of the garden by regenerating the space around it, by bringing in diversity and bringing in lots of different variables so that it could all heal the soil underneath that obnoxious weed, and then the obnoxious weed just like can't live there anymore. And that's like an analogy for what I feel like we're about to do. We've identified the invasive pest, we've identified the obnoxious weed, and we are going to bring in this like beautiful regenerative diversity around it to collaborate into a completely new ecostructure, an ecosystem that will then reject that obnoxious weed, not by so much pulling it out, because the thing with weeds is it just grows back. If you haven't fixed the soil, the weed just grows back in abundance. So it's our job to come in from underneath and just.
But can I just say this after I heard, you were talking earlier part about the original people of the land. Australians know who we are. See, I don't go there filling people's year up with everything. I just go with my flags and I represent my people, by my colours and who I am and what I stand for. The Australian people know already who we are. That respect just has to be there for our people. But I'm going to say this to you, because this is what I feel. Creator Spirit kept on reminding me, no colour, because that's what it's coming to Australia. No more colour. Because see, what they did was they introduced colour because it was a part of their strategic plan to divide and conquer. My people were loving, they were harmonious, they shared and they cared for everyone. Nothing has changed from that, apart from my people are frustrated and angry with everything that's going on right now. But no colour. We have to unite. And this time it's by Creator Spirit, bringing the world together again as one people.
Yeah.
And this is what we need to start looking at one another, no colour, and fighting for what we need to fight for in this country. And that's our land back, to protect Mother so we can continue to survive and continue to live upon these lands, not just in this country, but throughout the world. My message to the rest of the tribes of the world, no more colour. Let's unite and let's become one people, and let's stand against these tyrannists, these criminals that have done this to the tribes of all the world. But let's stand together as one force to be reckoned with, as a people.
As gardeners.
Yes, as the children of Creator. Let's unite. Let's unite, Australia. Let's unite, you mob across the globe. Let's unite as one people. Yeah. Because I always tell them the greatest strategic plan that they created, and they knew how to do it, and they planned, was to divide and conquer. Black, white, mask, no mask, jabbed, unjabbed. You think about all the assimilation, segregation, full blood half caste. They did it to my people. It's time to stop. It's time to wake up. And it's time to unite as one children, as one people of the children of Creator. Creator Spirit is bringing us all together as one tribe, one people. And that's why when I see all these things about division, and you can see all these little groups down in Canberra. But when I get up there and speak, I remind them it's about Creator Spirit. We are one people, no colour, no division, no nothing. We are all the children of the Creator Spirit and of Mother Earth. And that's what we all need to come back to.
Indeed. It's us against them, it's not, and division is such, they just, look at what's going on in the media at the moment. It's just division, right? They're different from you, they're different from you, or hate them for this, hate them for that.
Yeah, and that's what they want, brother. That's what they want.
When people come together, it's a completely different story, isn't it? Everyone who's involved is like, hang on, this is what we need to do. We need to come together, and look what happens. They get scared.
That's right.
Start gathering. Oh God,
that's why you're going to see and they're starting to wake up. The Australian people and my people are all starting to wake up. It's time to unite. But can I say this to the rest of Australia, to your listeners out there and to the globe? do not call our Prime Minister the Prime Minister anymore. He has a new name, and he is no longer Prime Minister. He is the crime minister of this country.
Nice.
He is the crime. He is the crime minister.
I thought you were going to give him a worse word than that. That was actually
Yeah, that was quite nice. Yeah. I call him
He is the
Slow-Mo.
crime minister. CRIME. He is the crime minister.
Mm.
And there'd be a crime minister for education, a crime minister for agriculture, a crime minister for science, a crime minister. They're all crime. If you got the minister, you've got the crime in front. It's true.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
and we're on a soul journey. I mean, that's what this is calling us to do. Like, we're recognizing that this future of ours is a frequency specific one. It's a vibrational future. It's about energy. It's not about these vessels that we wear. That's very 3D. You know, it's actually about the soul alignment to this journey. So I absolutely love what you were saying, Cindy. This is about a unification of souls, not of race, color, tribe, or creed, but of souls.
See, you read their Bible and the Tower of Babylon. Creator spirit back then divided them all because what they were trying to do, you know, build their empire like they're building their empire now. And creator spirit, you know, in their biblical book, divided them, you know, broke them and scattered them abroad. Well, now creator spirit is calling all creator spirit children back together again. All by spirit. We're all coming back together again. And Australia, you must listen. You must come back to spirit. You must come back to creator. You must come back to mother. That's why I tell all them mob, even when I was speaking, strip off. Strip yourself naked of all these things that are contaminating them, you know, and bringing division. You know, all the different little groups and everything like that. Strip off naked and come back to spirit, to mother. And that's what they all need to do, including my people. Let it all go. All the religious, you know, the religion and everything. And just come back to spirit. Come back to the creator. Go to the water. Wash yourself. Strip off naked. Go into the water and come back. Cleansed. Reconnect into the dirt. Reconnect, you know. Go back to Mother Earth. Touch the water. Touch the dirt. And reconnect and come back to spirit. You know, because that's what needs to be done.
Mm.
They all need to come back to spirit.
All the simple stuff. Do you know what? That's why I love Cindy, because I always look at the universe. It's all contrasting expressions with the duality, right? So everything's complex, but the answers are simple.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm seeing like there's a lot of dogmatic religion that needs to be broken down too. And this is what when you're talking about going back to the creator, it's simple. The messages and the answers simple. And then when you were talking before, Kelly, about how are we going to create the new system, it's not until everyone connects with that heart. There's no point in even trying, because you're just going to have revolution like that. And we're seeing aspects of that breaking up now. It needs to happen. I saw this at the camp. This is how it's got to be done. This is the way. It's like, no, when everyone connects to the creator and through the heart, that's the system will form itself.
Yeah.
Like an avalanche that always forms a higher complex system. So the level of consciousness has to be there. It's not there yet. And I don't think we don't want to build a new system yet. We need to see what the destruction of the old looks like and see it in front. And I can tell you a quick one. There was a lady I knew that worked in the tribes as an infiltrator for decades as a dissociative asset. And this is what she's confirmed to me too. She spent decades as an infiltrator for mind control programs, but the role was to get to the elders because there was something about, and this was all to do with other dimensions too. this is how far this stuff feeds off of how they know how important the human being is. We are not at the bottom of evolution. We are at the peak. And that's why all these other beings are watching. They're watching what's happening here. But like, that's what you can tell Cindy speaks from spirit, can't you? Because it's simple. The answers are, everyone's trying to, how are we going to do it? It's like the answers are very simple. Like she said, go to the water, connect to your heart, what she calls spirit. It's like, it's beautiful. But it's like, you have to go through all the bullshit of trying to work out how to do it and go, oh, actually the answers, I think everyone's going to have that moment and go, oh, it's that fucking easy.
I wonder if that'll come at the hands of sort of like the solar flash or something like that, an energetic pulse, something, you know, the solar flash has been really sort of brought up and up and up and up and up in all of the stuff we've looked at. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, if it's somehow at the hands of the creator, it's somehow at the hands of like an earth realm energetic push out somewhere that brings everyone just like stopped in their tracks, you know, a real reevaluator. I have a feeling maybe there's going to be a great equalizer coming from the realm creator energy.
I think every big event that's going to occur is just going to trigger more awakening.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hard process for a lot of people, you know, like they say, you know, you got to throw up first before you feel better.
Yeah.
There needs to be
food poisoning.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. And I think even myself, I've been through a bit of an initiation personally in the last few weeks, been really, really, really sick. But what was coming to me was I needed that because I need to learn to heal myself instead of worrying about what's happening, you know, because like, you know, you want to get involved and stuff like that. But it told me that I'm broken. I've got trauma.
Same.
I've got, you know, and it's I need to look at myself, and I think that's collectively everyone needs to look at, you know, how do you want to live, and then just instead of worrying about building the new system, you lead by example of how you want to live your life, and others will see that energy emanating, and it'll inspire them to do it as well. It'll trigger them.
Yep. Agreed.
100%.
Yep. So tell us a bit more about sort of the infiltration that you sort of.
Yeah. So her role was to infiltrate the tribes and deliver that message back through culture creation agencies and intelligence agencies, and also stuff that goes off world. So they were all watching the tribes, right? And there was certain particular ones that weren't as infiltrated, and they did this all around the world with the missionaries and even school teachers that they put into the tribes were actually working as intelligence assets to, again, what Cindy was talking about, because they hold the law, they hold the DNA. It's that crucial, not just to Earth but the entire universe.
That's right.
It's like what I talk about is how the universe expresses itself all the way down in fractals. And then so the Earth Mother is a fractal of the entire creator in itself, just the Earth. And then that comes down into the human form. And with the Indigenous people holding all 12 strands, it's like you're a direct representation of the creator.
Yeah, that's you hit the nail on the head, Dale.
With the awakening, I see it's literally, the awakening is the creator expressing itself on Earth. We don't need to worry about building. It's not about the afterlife and having paradise here. It's literally the creator himself in human form to create heaven on earth.
See, Dale, when I came to Canberra, it was creator that called me. I cried because I wanted to go home to the Northern Territory because we had plans, ain't Kelly? Tartarian.
Oh, we're getting there. We're going back there.
Anyways, and so I've been through a lot. And when I went underwater and I lost my car and I nearly, you know, I fought for my life underwater. But Creator Spirit saved me. And Yahweh, the water spirit, came and opened that door for me. And no one will ever know, only me, Creator, and the ancestors and the creator, you know, the spirit created that was there that day. Sorry, there's stuff moving around here. So when I went through all of that and I didn't want to come to Canberra, I said, no, I want to go home to my family, because Lumba and that were putting out all these things about, you know, that all this stuff was happening, and, you know, get up to Darwin. And I was worried about my family, because my family was on the other side of Binjari. But Creator told me, you know, and I didn't listen, and I just wanted to get home to my family because I wanted to go and fight the army to tell them to leave my mob alone. Anyways, I didn't make it. And that's when Creator, I got on my knees that night after I come out of the water, and I was walking that road, and I was calling out to the Creator saying, forgive me that I disobeyed you. Before you know it, 2 days later, after a big lesson learnt and all the lectures from everyone in my family, and 2 days later, Creator spoke and said, you're going to go and speak in Ballina. And then after Ballina, Creator said, you're going to Canberra.
Frozen, buddy.
My life. This is my life, Dale. I serve the Creator Spirit. When all my and a lot of representatives that came from all the different tribes that came there and supported, and we wanted to take old Parliament House, and that was to establish our tribal government so we can hold the Australian Parliament accountable for everything they were doing to the Australian people with their border closures, you know, their vaccines and all this other crap, and V-passes and the mandates. We needed to stop it. And that's why we were fighting. I was down there fighting and standing and praying against all these things. Well, when all them moved along, and then now the second lot came. Now, when everyone left, I was crying because I was left behind on my own. Still had a few friends by my side, but not many. But Creator Spirit said, be still. It's not finished yet. They're coming. So every day I continue to pray. And now they're coming. But Creator said this thing, no color. Spirit, 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 spirit. Everything. And see, when everyone talks about the system, the structure, it's like a matrix. The colonial democracy and the constitution and all the laws and legislation and bills, and it's like a matrix. But see, Creator's law is simple. Creator's law is the law of the land, the law of my people, and the law of this, you know, and it's so simple. There is no matrix. It's just from above to below, you know, and from us to Creator. There is no matrix. There's no confusion. There's no nothing. It's about you and creation. You and the land, the water, the trees, the animals, you know, and us as the children of the earth. There's no confusion. And you can see what's right here. You know what's right here. And this is who we are. We are the children of the Creator Spirit, with our ancestors walking with us, guiding us through everything. But it's all by spirit. Canberra, spirit. The matrix and all this and the constitution and all of that, it's all just all a mirage. It's not real. None of it's real. What's real is creation, Creator Spirit, and the land, and us. We need to find a way to work together with the simplest things, and it's the most simplest thing in life. There it is. Spirit, life. They've made it so complicated, brother. Everything is so complicated, but it ain't real. It's just a mirage. But the people are caught in the matrix. And once they come out and realize that that it's all fake.
Yeah.
You were just activating the shit out of me, Cindy. This, you know, like I saw the one you did with Callie a few months ago, and I got to tell you, it's very, very rare that something hits me. And when I heard you talk, I just went, whoa. Do you know what I mean? that's what I said. It's spirits talking through you. Even like I was listening to Max Egan the other day too. He talks information, and then when he gets to the core message, and he's saying the same thing as Cindy in different words, and he really represents that action of the masculine too. But when he talks like that, his face changes. There's something that comes out of him, and it doesn't even need to be words. You know what I'm talking about, that energy. It's
yeah, I do.
I just got to thank you, Cindy, because you helped me just to remember stuff that I, like I said, remembering stuff I already knew, but you helped me just to, that's what I think, the core message needs to be so simple, and it will come.
Spirit, everybody just needs to come back to creator spirit, back to mother, back to the water, back to the land. And that's why when I was out there, I wanted to take them all out on the land and take them to the water and have one big ceremony with them all, you know. And that's why I'm open. I'll be there Saturday. The car's in the garage. I'm a bit worried because, you know, financially, yeah, I've got a big heart and I give away a lot and I always forget about myself. So I've got my car in the garage, and these Subi doctors in Sydney are looking at the Subaru. I don't want to say that the young fella that we bought the car off knew the problem, but I'm just working with what I need to work with now, and that's trying to find out to get my car out.
I'll pick you up in Sydney, Cindy.
Yeah, my car is my life. I live in my car. So I live in my car. That's my life, because as you know, Dale, I'm from the Northern Territory. And that's where eventually I'll make my journey back with Kelly, and we'll do the Tartaria, and we'll be on a mission when we finish conquering.
Well, I reckon we can put out a call out again, Cindy, to our audience, like supporting your journey really is at the crux of our whole consciousness. When what's the freaking point of Tartaria consciousness if we're not working with creator and moving things forward? And that is the energy of this audience. So we will put out another call out to start the next phase of the journey. And I think you know what I feel like, Cindy? I
gotta tell you this. My sister said, the Indigenous All-Stars game is on Saturday. I said, I got something more important than watching on a football field. Anyways, I said, we're out to save this country. And you want to play football. So you All-Stars mob, you better get to Canberra, because the Australian people need you down there. So all you All-Stars, how about you do your part and help us take this country back for what it truly is, spirit. Let's take it back for our ancestors, and let's be rid of all this ownership over this country and let the people walk in freedom. Let's get rid of these borders, because they go against our tribal laws. They go against our tribal boundaries, We travel freely through this country, our people do, and we don't need no structure or no, body or parliament or these laws, these LAWs, air and water, telling us that we, the original people, nor those that dwell upon these lands, can travel freely through, telling us that we can't travel freely throughout this country. That there is going against our law, full stop.
Well, Cindy, that's probably why your car keeps breaking down. It's like the metaphor of this whole thing. I feel like every single time you make a move towards the journey, your car is going to have to be supported by Tartaria Australia to get you a new one.
Someone turned around and said, why couldn't you just go and... Why did you? But this is the, Kelly, remember when we got that car after I lost my car and then we ended up getting this car? Now, this car nearly cost $10,000, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, and look at it. It's already in the shop with problems and everything. But you know what? I got to say this. Tartaria Australia, all the listeners out there, that young boy that we bought this car off, he lost his job because he didn't want to have the jab. So what came around as a blessing, we helped him.
Yeah.
You know, so I seen it when I met this young boy that we bought the car off. I'm just felt blessed that we were blessing him. So the blessing went around. My sister and said, you should have went to a car yard. And I said, no, they're fraudsters. You know, at least we gave it to somebody that really, really needed that money. So there you go, Tartaria. I might have ended up with the problem now, but anyways, we helped a young fella that lost his job after 5 years because he didn't want to have the jab. So how's that? We helped another young fella.
I love that.
So
I love
not
that.
looking at the problems, but yes, we helped a young fella. And not only that, we helped the Aboriginal Embassy until I found out what was going on, all the corruption in there. I don't even want to go into that area, but anyways. But we done our part, Tartaria Australia. We helped the embassy also and cleaned that place up. But anyways, let's not get into that one.
Well, we're on to stage 2 now of doing our part, Tartaria Australia. So we will actually be leaving a link under this podcast. If you want to contribute, like, go for it. We did amazing last time, and everything that we did last time has accumulated in this moment in time, and we're going to just keep moving it forward. And that involves going up against all the energies that want to stop Cindy from moving forward, literally, with her car. It's all playing out with the metaphor of the old Subaru, the old Ruru. So we're going to get
Kelly wanted a camper van. I didn't want a camper van.
Yeah, I'm like, get a fucking bed in there, Cindy, but no.
But I just want to say my message to everyone, to all Australia out there, where you at, Australia? If you're not in Canberra, where you need to be in Canberra, because we need to take back this country for what it truly is, by spirit. So that's my message to everyone out there today.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you want to help a sister, my car's broken down.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but Dale, I love you, Mob, and brother.
You too. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, and don't forget about our other brother there. Where is he? Cambell,
mate.
Still here. I'm gonna be quiet today.
love
Yes.
you, brother.
Yes, that was great to talk to you again, Cindy. And like we've been saying, I mean, yeah, gee, we've come a long way, hey, since our first chat. It's happened.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you as the Queen of Australia instigated it all, right? Like you sat there.
I kept on saying to him, I'm going to Canberra.
Yeah. Dale's called you,
I
mate.
spoke up on that podium. I said, I'm going to Canberra. All these mob were messaging me. They saying, you kept on saying you were going to Canberra. And I said, yes. I said, and I stuck, you know, I knew by spirit, because Creator, I tried to run from Creator. Don't ever try to run from your caller. What happens? You end up underwater.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Look, lesson learned from this woman. But you got to remember, I live and work for the Creator Spirit. That's my life, you mob. I don't serve men. I work for the Creator. So when everybody asks me to join this or join that, I don't. Even with that, when we got that opportunity with Craig Kelly, Creator Spirit just used him, you know, just for that. We only got that one opportunity. See, I'm not a political woman, and I don't follow anybody's agendas or anything or any groups. I follow Creator and I listen, but the opportunity was given. You gotta take with what you're given at the time. Whether or not they act upon that, I don't know. Whether or not Craig Kelly will do anything, I don't know. But the thing about it is that we went in there to enforce it. And the Prime Minister, the crime minister of this country knew we were in that building. You know, the Speaker of the House knew we were in the building. Anthony Albanese knew we were in the building. They knew. So that letter of demand was there, but it wasn't no contract. It was just a letter of demand for freedom for the people of this country. That's what it's about. It's about our freedom and about taking back this country. for the people and for my people.
Yeah, I think again, it's all energy, right? Like you said, you made it in. That's the first step. Now it's, well, you can claim it as our domain, right? Like that's a hurdle energetically that we've gone past. So it's now on to the next thing, I guess. And it's not.
Yes, we need to take old Parliament House.
Yes.
We need to stick to our guns, and we the people need to go through the front door. I said, we could have got in this building. I said to them, police, I reckon we could have got in this building if we wanted to. I reckon to all them policemen. I said, but we're not coming in by the back door because we're going to take this building through the front door. See, Australia, we need to take old Parliament, set up our tribal government and the people's government, and hold that Australian corporation accountable.
I agree. That's exactly how I see it happening. Like again, like a 1776, sort of, sitting down our people, making new whatever LOREs, and creating our new system. We've got everything we need. We haven't got that. We haven't got the Parliament House.
No, we're going to take it. Ready for this, Dale? Let's take old Parliament, Dale. Yeah, we were so close. We only got the doors, but the doors got burnt. But
yeah, saw that. Yeah, so everyone, big call out for Saturday. Saturday's the next big day. So if you can get there, get there. Just get in, because what else are you going to do? What's the future of this country and your family got if we keep going down this track? We've got to make it. It's got to stop.
Yeah, Australia. This country is in your hands, because the decision you make today determines your tomorrow. And that's what I got to say to Australia today. So get to Canberra, support the Australian people, because you too are the people, by spirit, uniting by spirit. But your future, the decision you make today determines your tomorrow. So where you at, Australia? Where you at this point in time? Anyways, but I'm going to say I love you and leave you, because my sister needs help, and she's like, are you going to help me?
No, we're more important.
I know, right?
Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, we know you've obviously got family things that you need to attend to. So we'll catch up with you soon.
Yes,
and hopefully, Dale, if I don't, Kelly has my contact number. I'm just writing it out. They're going to let me know the outcome of my car tomorrow. So that's just where I'm at for Saturday. So I'm hoping my car will be fixed and I will have the funds. Creator will meet my needs. And
Subaru version 3. Subaru version 3 coming up for Cindy.
Give me your number, Cindy.
Kelly, don't. I listen to you. And I'm thinking, why didn't I get that fucking camper van? Why didn't I?
Credit didn't want it. You're on the Roo trail, mate. You're going to be up to Subaru number 10 by the end of our journey together. I tell you what, these wrecked Subarus behind a trail behind you. Cindy, my sister. I blame all their mob Rainbow Country. I blame all their mob. They reckon Cindy. Subaru best car for, and I'm like, I've got a Subi. It is the best car. So my sister, thank you. Look, we're going to sort it out. And as always, it's been our honor to hear your words, and for our audience to hear your words. It's been our honor. What can I say?
Love you, Mob. Love you, Dale. Love you, Campbell.
Thank you, Cindy.
I'll see you when I get there, brother.
Yeah, you two catch up. That's right.
Yeah. Are you at Epic, Dale? Are you camping, or at Cotter's Dam, or where you at?
I'm just in Newcastle at the moment. I was heading up for a couple of days, but I need to freaking turn around after listening to you. That's hit me hard.
But I'll be there, brother. I'll be there on Saturday, because I got to keep on reminding the people that they got to, by spirit, they got to continue to trust in Creator Spirit, because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to come ASIO, infiltrators, insiders, and they'll do anything to divide the people. That's why we need to keep on bringing them back to Creator, back to Spirit. And that's my job, to keep on bringing them back to Spirit, brother. But I'll see you all in Canberra. You better be there, Dale. Saturday, I'll be looking for you.
I'll see you there.
Looking for you. Oh, the pressure. See you soon, sister.
Take care, Australia. Take care across the world, around the globe. unite and become one people, one tribe. No more color. Love yous all. Garama booga bear.
Booga bear.
Can't wait.
So Dale, what do you think of all of that?
That was awesome. Do you know what? Like it's something I needed to hear too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I needed to like we know this stuff, but you go off your path and you just forget it at times. But you need to come back to it. I mean, I like to look at myself in the morning and just tell myself I'm infinite when I look in the mirror. And it's another thing. It's just a different way of looking at it. But I just love. I mean, it was just great to listen. It's a message I needed to hear. It's a message I needed to hear, and it's simple. Like you said, it's simple.
I was going to say the truth is always simple.
It is. It is.
So if things are complicated, that's a good sign that it's not the truth, right? Yeah. And like you said, exactly with the LAW law. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's just words and words, and God, it's just. You even think about getting into that and it's tiring. But then you go to LORE and it's just, don't harm any people, don't do damage.
But it's got law, the LORE's cause and effect. So whatever it's going to come back, right? It's like, it sorts itself out. It doesn't need to be written law. But, what's I going to, I was just going to say, I really hope everyone that goes there hears Cindy's message. I just think that's really powerful. And like I said, there was a lot of filtering out of who and what and where and what. I just feel that I almost want to steal like part of that clip and shorten it.
Oh, please do. Yeah, share it
around. And just put it out there. I might try and find a good bit because I think it was just so powerful. And that's the voice we need.
Definitely. Yeah. I was just thinking that too. I think I'll make a few sort of shorter cuts that can get shared around a bit more.
Yeah.
Because she does. She's got a way with her, hasn't she? That like she just makes it so easy and simple. It's like, well, if people are talking to you and they're in your ear and there's all bullshit, everywhere, just take a minute and connect to source, connect to the creator, and that's all. And then you've got all the answers, and that's it. Because everyone, all this swaying and getting people off site, it's just all crap, right? It's just words that don't have any meaning, and there's lots of them. What about this and this? And it's all confusion, but you just go, well, that's crap. I mean, if you're working for the creator, well, everything's simple. Clearly, people who are putting other people in slavery need to go. Pretty simple. You don't make deals with them.
That's like, to me, to me, it's not about like idolizing Cindy. It's listen to what she's saying. Yeah. Listen to the message. This is channeled information from the core. Yeah. And this is another thing that I haven't liked is like, where sometimes a lot of them, they'll talk about, this is white man's law. It's not the white. This is the force that infiltrated the white tribes in Europe too,
absolutely.
Right? They have this message as well too. It's just that we were lucky enough that there's some tribes that weren't infiltrated till later in the game, and we all hold these codes.
Indeed. Look what happened to all the Celts and all that, all the, Druids and things throughout Europe, and they were chopping down the forests and stuff. And it's not just, we have this sort of view of the tribal people. And of course, none of them are, they're not white people like us, but we're all tribal people. We all came from tribes. We all went through the same thing. We all had our, civilizations that were for the people, and they all got infiltrated by, again, always by the whisperers, right? They just come in and just start whispering all their crap, causing division, and it's all division and land. I mean, that's really all it is, right?
Yeah.
Division and we own the land, pay us. That's pretty much their plan.
Yeah, we just draw some squiggly lines on everything and done. Like I've been looking, we've just bought a farm, Dale, and it's just like, how did this even happen? This is squiggly lines that like show you what this land, the shape of this land. They are so retarded. They're just like a child. It's just like a crayon over the whole world. And this is the land package. It's crazy. And that whole after the reset and then the redistribution of wealth. I mean, they just they set up this enslavement system by, using these gorgeous properties and buildings, and that was it. If you got one of those, your generation forward was sorted. If you didn't, this is your economic situation. It's all been set up. It's all false. And I was saying to Cambell just before we started, it's so perfectly timed that as we've all discovered this old civilization and this historical reset, right on the cusp of us being called on by spirit to create a new one, they've just sort of come so perfectly at the right time. So all the Tartaria stuff should lead everyone to the indigenous, to the original lawkeepers and who they were and how Australia's ended up in this situation and what's coming. It's a beautiful partnership of consciousness.
You know what else she said that hit me too? Because Cindy keeps talking about coming together, and people that have studied Satanism at its core is the worship of the ego above all else. Yeah. It is your disconnectedness from other people, because it's me. That's Satanism. People think Satanism's all just fucking ritual abuse and killing people. It's not. Satanism is the disconnection of yourself with the creator and everyone else. So when she's saying come together, this is kind of what I talk about a little bit too, is whatever they want, you do the opposite. They want division, we unite. It's simple, isn't it?
Yeah, the inversion is so obvious. It's so friggin' obvious. So, how do they become God? They've got to invert everything, patent it, to modify it, and then they're the creators. It's so simple when you actually start to look at it like that.
Because they don't have creativity. They have no intention.
Exactly.
They can only mimic. But I'm gonna have to go too, because my battery's about to
go. Yeah, cool.
So good to have you on the show, Dale.
Gonna head back up to Canberra for Saturday, you think? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to now, aren't I?
Oh, you're precious now.
I'm sitting there like
named you.
I know I should go, and it's just hit me in the heart, man. It's hit me in the heart, and I'm like, fuck.
She'll come looking for you, mate. No, that's.
Oh yeah, she's named you now. Dale, you got no option now. You've been seen, brother. You've been seen, and now, well, once you guys make actual contact in physical, but you'll have an amazing moment, for certain.
I need to.
You think so, definitely. Thank you so much for your time, and
you too. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. We've been meaning to do this for a couple of months now, at least.
Yeah, we love your work, Dale. It's awesome. Thanks for being you and putting it out there.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks for putting it on, mate. Yeah. And hopefully we'll catch up again in the future sometime.
Yeah, I'd love that. Awesome,
Dale. Have a beautiful day, brother, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, mate. Stay awesome.
Wow, Cambell, woo!
Jeez.
That was pretty fucking awesome.
It was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what a message. And it's just, she just delivers it so simply and eloquently. And I mean, you can't argue with that, right?
Dale too.
You just can't argue with what she says.
Yeah,
right?
There's elegance. I tell you, you can really, when you're connected to spirit or creator, there is an elegance in your language, and both Dale and Cindy hold that template. They've just got an elegance. I mean, I hope that we do too, Cambell. There's an elegance of language and consciousness, and an ability to translate ideas and concepts. So they're beautifully and simply put. And I love that about our guests, really. That is the consciousness that we're all operating from here in our audience. And I always say smart MFs, but actually you're divinely inspired MFs. So I can't even say my MF word because I feel like it's out of context in this high vibration.
All right. I know, it's like sacrilege. Yeah, so, that's the whole thing. It's such a vibe, right? I hope everyone watching is feeling it too. I mean, Dale definitely felt it. We all felt it. And this is the thing, right? So simple, eloquent, not, put well. And you've got that, contrasted with, these fat old men yelling at each other in a chamber,
speaking like monkeys. Oh my God, you're so right.
Division. How can we shame each other more? That's your fault.
I can't
that's
believe.
All they do. That's all they do in Parliament. That's all they do.
I can't believe it's even a thing, Cambell. I can't believe it's even a thing. It's so unintelligent.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Just
Literally, kids. It's like watching a cross between kids throwing a tantrum and like monkeys, and having them like genetically modified into politicians who are like put into a wooden room and filmed as a social experiment to see what they do. And it's just like,
it's literally like that.
Oh my God, I can't believe
they put up for us. Like, how did anyone vote someone like Slow-Mo in?
Oh,
he just looks like,
I don't think anyone votes anyone in. I don't think there's any vote.
That's who we get, right? He's literally the annoying little fat kid from school. That's who he is. He follows you around and won't shut up. That's who. And then we get Boris Johnson and bloody, Trudy running away from his country because he was scared of them. And it's just so pathetic. These people are so pathetic. They're so pathetic.
But I mean, it makes sense that they chose a puppet that was not going to provide any leadership to Australia during this time. Like they knew what was coming. They had it all planned out, and ScoMo just fit that. Like he's not going to be a leader in any capacity, and he's just going to be this, doofy looking, monkey. And
I think they kind of do that because if they're goofy and people kind of feel a bit sorry for them.
Oh my God. Maybe because of sitcom TV shows. That's why everyone's programmed to accept that character. And he is a character with, by the way, FYI, a pedophile record. It's just gross that he exists as an entity in front of us. I mean, and then you put him up all these politicians around the world, when you see them do their like press conferences, like they're all forced to do ridiculous, like Boris with his hair, like, what the hell? Like all these politicians, same with ours, like they all look disarrayed and their hair's all crazy and they all look terrible. Like, and it's all by design, like there's nothing. And then you got Trump came in with his freaking suit and his full on, like he was such a comparison point. Like they couldn't have even, that would have been a real destabilizer, having that sort of, strength and leadership and so presented.
He was so different. That's why everyone lost it for the whole time he was in, and then they just went, bugger it. Whatever we do, we're getting him out, and he just can't. And they
literally like tainted his skin orange during every single press conference, and they actually painted in the hue of his orange skin. Like they did everything they could to like make him look like. But at the end of the day, Trump stood strong, neat, presented. He had presence beyond any other leader we have seen we ever seen it. I don't even think we've ever seen it. Like, but look, seriously, in comparison to our doofus.
They're just ridiculous. I mean, look at Pelosi, man. She's literally got clown eyebrows drawn on. It's just, what are you people doing?
It's crazy,
Hillary's like 150 or something, and she thinks she's going to be the next president now. Like everyone hasn't seen the videos, Hillary. I mean, come on.
I know, and and all the health ministers that look like they're straight out of the Addams family.
Just like, I know. Right?
I mean, it's crazy.
Unhealthiest people ever.
But doesn't it just like? And then there was Kaylee, Trump's press secretary. Oh my God. Like this 5D Wonder Woman, gorgeous, intelligent, amazing.
Yep, and now we've got Balsaki.
Oh my God.
It was bloody Zuckerberg's twin bloody sister. Brother. But that's the thing, it's so clown worldish because some people are still into it. It's like, oh my God, okay, will this wake you up? Oh my God, okay, so how about we tell you that the president's son is a crack and porn addict? Will that wake you up?
Nah. Like, but it's perfectly placed. Like, I mean, as far as we're all concerned, you look at the 3D realm and its current template and its current leadership. It's so easy to like imagine the new one, isn't it? It's just like you barely have to think about it and you can come up with a better idea than what's currly there. It's not really calling on us to do much.
I know, it's just anything. Different. It'll work. I mean, that's where we are. So we can see it, and it's a complete clown show. But obviously, share this around, guys, this video, because not everyone can see what we're seeing. And of course, a lot of people are seeing a lot, but the next step, is really getting in touch with spirit, yourself, your heart, and acting through that, and because obviously division is opposite to that, right? So yeah, I think Cindy said it well. That's where we're going. So if you can get to Canberra, definitely get there. We'll leave the link below for Cindy's.
Let's get her the new Subi. Come on, team. I just think this is going to be I think the way that they're bugging our phones when we try to speak to each other, I think like they're cursing Cindy's point of travel, like her ability to move and ignite these movements. Like that's her intention. She's going to follow creative spirit no matter what, and it's going to send her all over the place. And when it's time for her to be in the Northern Territory, it'll be time. And that's probably going to be another Subi. Like for us, I think it's like actually kind of fun now. Like Tartaria Australia is going to get Cindy on the road over and over and over again.
Maybe we could do the great Subi treasure hunt next year. Like we could go to all like the different Subis.
Look, I mean, I like the significance of our last impact with her was just huge. Like I can't even tell you guys what we did because of that. And another $20, like who fucking cares? Like it's nothing. You'll forget about it in a second. And we're going to get her a new car. It is her whole life, that those cars. That's probably why they faults are so bad. Like they literally get worked to the end of their engine capacity. And yeah, so if we have to keep raising some cash to get the car sorted, fucking hell, that's what we're going to do. And that's that. So if you've been moved by Cindy today and you're there on Creative Spirit Path and you want to, participate, like, don't think you giving $20 is meaningless. Oh my God. Like that's energetic intention that's aligning with creator. And like,
what was Dale talking about, all the time that, law, LORE is just cause and effect. What you give is what you are going to experience in the future. That's exactly it. So intention. And I'd also say, if anyone's out there is still paying income tax, stop doing that and start funding people who who are going to work for you, who are going to get out there and make the changes, so that you can live a better life. Because I can tell you one thing, people who are getting your taxes, we know where it's going, right? So it's time for decisions, and obviously, Kelly mentioned, we're going to start the Great Tartarian Business, or whatever it's going to be called, which is all going to be.
Yeah, we need a new word. Not business, not organization, not corporation, not like. Come on, you guys.
Co-op or
something. Co-op's a bit soft. We need something brand new. What does creator want to call the new economy? Like. Tune in, all our psychics out there, all our channelers, like come and join us, and maybe we'll have an open discussion. Like maybe that's an awesome idea, Campbell. We'll actually zoom through and invite everyone who's interested in this, and we'll just try to channel through the information. Like what's it going to be called? What is its function? How does it work? How do we reimagine this? We're asking how, we're asking what now, universe. So let's get that sort of sorted. And I'm so fascinated to see what our amazing community has to say about that. What do you have to say about that? We're all ears.
And thank you to everyone who's got in touch with us with email. We're going to get something together and so we can all have a chat and see where we're going. And it was a much bigger response than we thought. So we've got bigger ideas now. So
you've expanded us.
We're going to, basically, if you want to be involved, then we want you to be involved. So it's not like we're going to, pick someone. If you're interested, then let's find a place and let's build a business for all of us. Let's start this something completely different.
What the fuck is the word?
I know. I just stopped it.
While you're just chatting there, I'm going to look at another alternative word.
But yeah, so and the point of that is, guys, so that we can start supporting ourselves with our money. We know that while there's an economy and money, that's their biggest, tool that they use to keep us in slavery. So let's stop funding, the big companies, the Coles, the Audis, the Whole Foods, and all these people, and let's create our own economy. Once we've got everything we need, we don't need them at all. There's nothing they can offer us, and that's where we're going with this. So,
and in doing that, Campbell, we set whatever our community. Another word for business that came up was calling, which was quite nice.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just looked at the thesaurus, vocational calling. But whatever our community imagines together, whatever our calling is as a collective consciousness. And, you know, when I say collective consciousness, that's really the truth, because for some reason, for example, Cindy has aligned with our collective consciousness. So Creator, Cindy, and Tartaria Australia and our audiences have an alignment there with the collective consciousness. So, you know, that's why we're going to keep sorting out the Subies. But like, as far as us in innovating a new model as a collective group, like, it's going to provide an amazing inspiration and example for other communities out there that haven't quite got to this consciousness yet, and may get there in 6 months, a year's time, 2 years time, and they're going to be able to draw on, you know, our working model, our working example. And I really feel like around the world that's going to be the case. Like, there's going to be beautiful working models as we go through this, because we've just managed to get here quicker than everyone else, you know. So that's just part of that leadership quality that, you know, this information and this consciousness, like, you know, gifts us with. So whatever we do, like, it's going to be high impact for far more people than you can imagine right now. So I'm eager and keen for us to see how this looks and works. And I'm excited, Cambell. I think it's just so beautiful. It's a beautiful start to such a 2022 year. Like, it's such a start to 2022, and beautiful to connect with Creator today as our second podcast. And we say that through Cindy, and beautiful to start working with our community. Let's all get abundant together. We gotta let go of this poverty. You gotta, we gotta do it together.
Yep. And, you know, the same thing, wealth isn't money, wealth is wealth, right? It's abundance. And that's what we all deserve. And this whole blockage of you don't deserve it has been given to us by them, by those who have billions of dollars and yachts that we can never go on, and all this crap.
And they set that up.
It's a big scam, right? We've been duped again. So yeah, we got to get into the wealth consciousness, right?
Because they stole it, Cambell. That's what they did when the reset happened. The buildings that were left and the estates that were left and the land that was given to them, the hijackers. We were the ones that created it, and then it got taken, stolen, of course. Hello, it's what they do, and then gifted back to them as if they've come from generations of well-earned wealth. It's bullshit. They were handed this to play along with the reset agenda, and you know, once you were given an estate, it stayed in your family line till this day. And just build on the wealth and build on the wealth. They were like wealth funnels. They were literally, well, you got given an estate, you did your job for the agenda, and you got a wealth funnel, and it just built. And then all their children were born into it, indoctrinated into it. They were taught into that. It's all fucking, it's the odds have been against you guys and us since the reset, and fuck it. We're back. We're back. Exactly right. And it's time to do on the future. Whatever's happened has happened. Bugger it. Let's just go forward, build the new world, and we're definitely in the right place. So, because whatever we do now, it's going to be an evolution of what we did last time, and what we did last time was fucking cool. Hello, how obsessed you are with the buildings we built last time? Obsessed. And this time it's going to be an evolution, so even better than before. Can you believe it? Indeed, it is. I can't wait. I can't wait either. I'm so there. What are we gonna do? Feel the call of the land, and movement too. That's what I'm excited about. This travel, you know, freedom of movement. I think we all just start moving. Yeah. So don't let you on a plane, drive. Look what's happening over east, right? Everyone, there's no borders left. There's no border. You know, everyone's just gone bugger that. Yeah. We're going. Yeah. So that's what we should do everywhere. So I'm definitely gonna be making a break for the border soon-ish. Making a break, buddy. I would really love to do a podcast with you, Cambell, on regeneration, regenerative agriculture. I've got a lot of people in the community interested. I'm going to bring it in from the 5D level. No one's ever talked about regen ag from the 5D space before. We're going to do an exclusive here on Tartaria Australia. And basically, like, Cambell, you can just ask me anything you want. Just ask me, and we'll have a discussion about it. Well, maybe we'll do a live, and so people can ask questions live whatever they want to know around agriculture and regenerative agriculture from the 5D space. I think it'd be really wild. And as I said before, like, we are the gardeners, and like, it's such an amazing analogy and metaphor for what's upon us and where we're going. And, you know, you guys will like love it. It's just such a divine, elegant understanding of what it means to return to the land and integrating sort of the law, the real law, into our actual lives and lifestyles. So I'm really keen to do that one. So
regeneration, right? Putting a new generation into the land. I mean, it's a good word. Let's, you know, regenerate it. That's cool.
Regenerate, man.
Of course, it's just a garden, right? And we're the gardeners, and that's how
Garden
we
of Eden. Hello.
It's land, it's everything. It's the creator. So
yeah. And we're gonna like 5D regenerative agriculture is basically taking those principles, not to remove poisons, not to solve drought or flooding, which is what it's currently doing, but to actually integrate into high frequency and high vibrational medicines. You know, to heal magical healing objects that are for the benefit of our frequency. And that is the evolution of regenerative agriculture. And no one's ever said that before. And no one's ever partnered Tartaria with regenerative agriculture. I'm so pumped. So we're going to do a world exclusive here, and we're going to literally open up a brand new container that's never ever been partnered together or spoken about. So, you know, for all the herbalists, wizards, friggin' botanists out there, for all the healers, all the shamans, everyone who's interested in how to apply these techniques at the highest level of frequency and vibrational output, you know, we're going to have a kick-ass show. So I'm excited.
So that's definitely coming up. And I'll also make a shorter cut of that Cindy speech, and we'll put the link on just so you guys can share it around and get it out there as much as you can.
Yeah, let's get it out there, and let's get her Subi back on the road. So I don't think we need to raise much, just a couple of $1,000. We'll get it sorted for her, get her engine pumped for the next trip, and then gear yourself up for another one, probably around the trip to the Northern Territory. I reckon every couple of months we're going to be replacing the Subaru. So just get that into your, because it's part of our collective relationship with Creator now, Campbell.
It is, right? Your contract. Yeah. But you know, we're going to have all the wealth we need, so it's not an issue, right? Everything we need comes to us.
All right, awesome people, beautiful minds, beautiful Tartarian minds. We love you so much. It's been an awesome show, a real privilege.
Thanks for staying to the end if you're still there. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. All the links will be below, and stay awesome.
Stay awesome, Campbell. Stay awesome, brothers and sisters. We love you.
It begins.
Have a beautiful fucking day.